Hi, my name is Deanne and I'm here to talk to you about why you shouldn't fit in. So many people are trying to copycat celebrities or trying to be that person they want to be friends with and losing themselves along the way. So I'm going to share with you my story. This is me when I was little. When we're first born, we're innocent and pure and have no judgments and just want to experience life, don't we? We're just pure love. When I grew up, we moved all the time. I think I went to more primary schools than there are years in primary school. So I was having to fit in. I was having to make new friends over and over and over again. So I became so good at this that I'm very much the socialite now. As a teenager, I ended up being part of the cool crew at high school. I became the master chameleon. The funny thing there is that we actually thought another group were cool, but they thought we were cool. So the funny thing is that no one really was cool. But at 15, I had my innocence stolen from me. It's now termed date rape, but at the time I didn't understand what that was. And when I confided in a friend of mine, he said to me he thought he would have been my first, so I was very confused. And I sunk into depression. I turned to alcohol. I partied all the time. I was the loud, funny one who just wanted to be liked by everybody. So I would be entertaining all the time. By the age of 21, I was a single mother. I fell pregnant at 18 and the father stayed with me, but he became violent. So I had to leave him with my son and found myself having to fend for the pair of us alone. I worked all my life in male-dominated industries, from being a leading hand in a factory to driving trucks on mine sites. That in the red circle there is someone getting off his truck alongside my truck. It's a very different world, very tough, but I felt like I fit in. When my son was old enough to look after himself, I accepted the Greenpeace Borneo Jungle Challenge, which entailed raising over $8,000, going to Borneo with other people who'd done the same, living in the jungle for a few days with them and climbing a mountain, which I did. I was one of 8 of the 12 of us who reached the peak, and I was able to be myself there. I was so far from home I didn't have to pretend anymore. It was quite amazing, but of course I was so far away from home that when I returned home everything was as it was before I left. Then I was introduced to essential oils, which helped me with my depression, that raised my emotions. And I now term it my gateway drug because it started me on my alternative therapy route, I suppose, and spirituality. And Vanessa Gene, who introduced me to oils, ran retreats, and she convinced me to come along because at the time I was fundraising for Kids Helpline, and she said she would give part payment to the charity. So I went along not realizing it was going to be all women, and for the first time I was with all women. I continued my fundraising journey because it kept me distracted and it helps me to feel good about myself. So here I am skydiving after fundraising for Beyond Blue. And a friend of mine's son said, "You're jumping out of an aeroplane for suicidal people." I hadn't considered that. Then I met Katie Todd, who's created her own personality profiling system called Persona Grata. And I discovered that I am a sparrow with a strong lion. And my family, there's no sparrows, there's no lions. So it's no surprise I was behaving like them. They're mainly swans. So Katie and I created these aromatherapy sprays together, combining our true loves. And I realized I had a bit of a gift here and I wanted to pursue this further. But I wanted to learn a new modality or another modality and not just play with the essential oils. Because I'd found so much success on my path so far, I'd had kinesiology and hypnotherapy and a few other things, I decided that I wanted to show other people that there's many avenues that they can walk down to heal themselves and find themselves, and started Flourish events. Here, Anthony Grizelko joined me. I went on to have a theta healing from one of my oil customers to help me release my feelings of unworthiness. My subconscious belief that I'm unworthy is now gone, and it was so impactful that I became a theta healer myself to help others do the same. One of the presenters at my Flourish events, Rashad Stelmack, has his own body movement technique called regenexx, which is about moving with the spirals of nature. So I flew to the Gold Coast to be with him and learn further, and for the first time felt reconnected with my body and appreciated it and loved it and was holistically well. So over the last 4 or 5 years, I've achieved a lot. I'm an aroma touch technique practitioner. I'm a spirogenix facilitator. I'm a theta healer, and lastly, I am a life coach. I've got all these certificates, and I'm on the path that I'm meant to be on. So my passion now is for you to be yourself, to find out what you are here to do, your purpose, and to live it and bring your gifts to the world so that we all benefit. Quit hiding your magic. The world is ready for you.